I got something to read for y'all. I got something for y'all.
You're all gonna love it.
You're all gonna love it. I got Batman, the Yaoi Knight by Jason Steele, also known as Filmcow.
Yeah.
It's a screenplay. A good night story, yes.
Yeah, to have sweet, beautiful dreams
yes,
too.
so this is an experimental stream. I'm not entirely sure how to go about this, but I got some ideas. First of all, music, be gone. Quiet. Be gone, music. I banish you out of here. I got a different music solution today. Hold on. Audio output capture. Hiccup. And say something?
Oh,
that's
hello. Okay.
Okay, so I have a different solution for music today. And that would be the Microsoft Music Producer for Windows 98 or even 95. It is a algorithmic generator of music from 1996 where you can select some music and it will make you something. I'm gonna make it like
it's a delight.
It's a delight. Low tempo, medium key, somewhere B in B. A quiet song that loops. And we're gonna make it. Let's see, what kind of... Hold on, let me screen share with you so you can let me choose.
For something like this, I suppose we ought to turn off your redeems, like the motivation and stuff.
We should.
Yeah, like toggle those off. There's a way of making it and mix it up to where you can just toggle off several commands at once, but that'd be something to set up later, I suppose. That only occurred to me now. That that'd be very disruptive.
Fast, because people will do that even if there is no indication that they should. Let's see, congratulations, throw something, super motivate and super congratulate, motivate.
Smack the screen in the Oracle too.
The Oracle, everything is
and
off.
And to throw many somethings.
Everything's basically off here.
Yeah. Later on, we can set up something to where that won't that can just be like toggling on and off real quick.
Let's see, and for the commands, I will turn off everything as well for today. The sound commands.
Yes. That too.
Except that one, this one, the red one can stay. This one can stay. This one can stay. Turn that off, stay. Events. Everything should be fine. And Twitch. Turn off all these as well, I think.
I suppose.
Because they're pretty loud otherwise.
I suppose, yeah. But yeah, that's something to workshop out later on.
Okay. Right, let me fire up. Let's choose a music for ourselves. Let's choose. What do you think matches this tune?
Theme of Batman the Yaoi Knight.
Batman the Yaoi Knight. Romantic funk.
With honky tonk.
We will be
reading funk.
We will be reading Batman the Yaoi Knight by Jason Steele to the tune of Romantic Funk by Honky Tonk.
Yeah. Or you will be, I suppose. I'm just here.
It's a bit too loud, I feel like. Hold on. Maybe I can turn down the the volume a bit on this. Whoa.
Beep. Sorry.
This
That was just like an impulse.
yeah, you gotta stop. You should probably stop. Yeah. Lower the volume of every one of these instruments. How about that? And good. You're watching something unholy. It's. Don't worry about it.
It's fine. Don't worry about it.
It's good. It's all good.
Don't you worry.
Don't you worry your head about anything. We will be reading Batman the Yaoi Night as a bedtime story for everybody. Written by Jason Steele. Okay, man, you're gonna have to quiet yourself. Exterior, rooftop of Wayne Enterprises. Night. It is a cloudy, wet night in Gotham City. The sounds of city traffic echo from every direction. The tallest, most imposing building in the city is the headquarters of Wayne Enterprises. Standing atop this menacing spire of concrete and glass is Batman, a vigilante who has made it his personal mission to protect the weak and powerless. He is outfitted head to toe in form-fitting gunmetal Kevlar, with a long black cape and a cowl that resembles a bat's face. Batman hears police chatter through an earpiece underneath his cowl, and his head makes a quick jerking movement to the west. Crime is happening at this very moment. Batman jumps off the roof using his cape as a hang glider. It is a very dangerous way of getting about. The streets of Gotham are slick with new rain and old grime. Various citizens are going about their business, heads down, hearts empty. A woman runs through the crowd, violently pushing people out of her way. She is a criminal, having recently committed a robbery. In one hand, she holds a large briefcase, and the other hand, she holds a self-defense baton. There are a few shouts of protest from those she pushes through, but no one wants more trouble than they've already got. The criminal easily makes her way down the street, and then turns into a dark alley. Out of breath, the criminal pauses for a moment to collect herself. She looks around to make sure no one has followed her, then begins to open the briefcase. Directly above the criminal, a shape comes into focus. It is Batman, dropping from the sky like a meteor, his huge body colliding with the woman and sending her sprawling to the ground. The woman has dropped her briefcase, but she still holds her baton. In an awkward attempt to fight back, she swings the baton around, seeking to hit at her attacker, but Batman easily kicks it from her hand. The woman scurries back, a look of both fear and contempt in her eyes. "Who the hell are you?" Batman towers over the criminal and responds in a deep voice that sounds like it's echoing from an endless cavern. "I am the night. I am the darkness. I am the thing in the shadows keeping the city safe from the likes of you." Batman's cape flows behind him as if riding an ocean current. "Cool, great, well, I think you broke one of my ribs when you landed on me." Batman walks over to the briefcase the criminal had dropped. It lay open, with various manga spilling out of it. Batman kneels down for a closer look. Every manga has a similar cover. 2, sometimes 3 young men in various romantic embraces. Some awkward, some passionate, all extremely sexual. "What the hell is this?" The criminal coughs and spits up a bit of blood. "It's yaoi." "Yaoi?" "You know, boys' love. It's a genre of Japanese media featuring erotic relationships between young men." Batman picks up one of the manga. The cover depicts a well-built, slightly sinister-looking man with black hair. His arms are suggestively embracing a much smaller, slightly frightened-looking man with blonde hair. Batman begins flipping through the manga, but he's reading it the wrong way. "You have to read it the other way around. That's how they do it in Japan." "Oh, I see." Batman flips to the other side of the manga, then stands up and slowly paces around while reading it. The criminal attempts to reach for her baton, but Batman, without taking his eyes off the page, kicks it further away. Still reading the manga, Batman addresses the criminal. Why do you have these? What do you think? Is this why the police are after you? Yeah, because I stole them. And I'd do it again. It's the only way Yaoi is gonna survive what is to come. Batman looks up from the manga, his eyes focused on the criminal's face, studying it. What does that mean? What's coming? What do you know? Eh? What do you care? The criminal spits up more blood. Batman approaches her with a heavy, aggressive step, waving the yaoi in front of him. I care about all injustice. Now answer the question. It's Joe Biden. He's getting Congress to ban this stuff. Why would he do that? Hell if I know. Maybe it's a scapegoat. Maybe he's just homophobic. All I know is it's happening. I haven't heard anything about this. Why isn't it on the news? It's being done in secret. Behind doors meetings and all that. No one's even going to realize it's happening until all the yaoi is gone. Batman looks down at the yaoi in his hands, at the obvious sexual tension between the two beautiful men on the cover. No, I don't believe you. You can't believe it or not, but it's happening. The criminal turns away from Batman and once again begins crawling for her baton. The only thing a small fry like me can do about it is save as much yaoi as possible before it all gets burned. The criminal successfully grabs her baton and quickly spins her body around, but Batman has vanished. The criminal lowers her baton and looks down at her briefcase, which is now empty. All of the yaoi is gone. Batcave, later that night. Batman's headquarters is an underground command center built inside a gigantic cavern. Metal walkways connect various points of interest, and in the center of it all is a computer system with 12 different monitors. Batman is seated in front of the computer system, his eyes darting from screen to screen. On half of the screens there are various yaoi panels scrolling quickly by. On the other half, there are various legal and government documents. The computer beeps. Some sort of calculation has just completed. An old man in a suit carrying a tray of food walks up to Batman. It is Alfred, who works as Batman's butler, but functions equally as a father figure. Dinner, Master Batman. You can set it on the desk. Very good, sir. Alfred sets the tray on the desk under one of the computer monitors. Alfred. Batman hesitates for a moment. Yes, Batman. What do you know about yaoi? That's a very heavy question. You don't have to answer. I know quite a lot, sir. Oh? Quite a lot indeed. I see. As it happens, I have one of the largest collection of yaoi manga in the United States. Batman swivels in his chair to face Alfred. Really? I've been collecting for nearly 50 years. That's impressive. Thousands upon thousands of the releases. Tankobon, Bunkobon, Waidaban. Are those? There are different ways of releasing manga or novels. Similar to the ways books here might get multiple releases with varying levels of printing quality or different binding. There's so much about yaoi I don't know. Everyone starts somewhere, sir. Alfred, your collection. Yes? Can I see it? Alfred's yaoi library. Later. An electric chandelier comes to life, lighting an extensive array of old but well-maintained oak bookcases. Each bookcase is filled top to bottom with yaoi. Alfred stands at the doorway to the library as Batman slowly walks inside, taking all the yaoi in. This is incredible. I'm quite proud of it. Batman takes a volume off the shelf and looks at the cover. A young, nerdy man has a shocked expression on his face as his shirt is being unbuttoned by a second, much taller man. I'm sorry, Alfred. I feel like I should have known this about you. My love of yaoi has never been a secret, but it's not something I bring up casually either. Still. Batman carefully puts the yaoi back on the shelf. Today someone told me that Joe Biden is working to ban yaoi. Alfred sighs. That sort of thing has always been a possibility. Batman looks over at Alfred. So you think it could be true? When something brings people joy, real joy, there are always those who will stop at nothing to snuff that joy out. I ran some calculations. If a vote is brought before Congress, there's a 95% certainty they'll vote to ban it. Quite distressing to think about. I've got to do something, Alfred. Perhaps this is a job better suited for Bruce Wayne? No. If President Joe Biden is trying to ban yaoi, he's doing it from the shadows, so he needs to be fought in the shadows. Gotham City Police Department. Night. The towering brutalist concrete of the Gotham City Police Department looms over the residents of Gotham City like a watchful vulture. A short man in his 50s with a deep frown on his face and tufts of gray hair on his head exits the building. He walks briskly down the building's many front steps and onto the busy sidewalk. This man is James Gordon, Gotham's Commissioner of Police. After a block or so, James turns onto a dimly lit, empty side street and looks around, seeking something that he isn't finding. Commissioner? Batman has appeared as if from thin air directly behind the Commissioner. The Commissioner instinctively takes his gun out and unloads 7 rounds at Batman before realizing who he's shooting at. Batman's body armor has thankfully protected him from the bullets. Jesus, Batman! Don't sneak up on me like that. I thought you were a big dog. Dogs don't talk, Commissioner. When you're under the sort of pressure I'm under, sometimes they do. I'm onto something big. That's good. That's very good. James waves his finger around in acknowledgement of that being good and begins to holster his weapon. A man walking a dog enters the side street and James Gordon immediately yanks his gun back up and shoots numerous times at the dog. His various shots all miss, and the man and dog run away. Commissioner, sorry, it's been a tough week. I need to see the police files on the next inmate of Arkham Asylum. Sure, whatever files you want are yours. I still owe you for helping out of that PR thing when I accidentally killed the Taco Bell dog. It's every citizen's duty to help the police. Besides, that was over a decade ago. Geez, has it been that long? Time flies, huh? James sticks out a cigarette and lights it, then takes a nervous drag. We gotta speed this up. I'm meeting my dealer here and you're going to scare him off. Are you on a sting operation? James takes another drag of his cigarette. Sure, I'm on a sting. Where can I find the files I need? If you just need something on an Arkham inmate, I can... There is a clanking sound from down the street. A stray dog is trying to get into a metal trash can. The cigarette falls out of James Gordon's mouth as he drops to the ground, does a tactical roll, and then fires wildly at the dog. One of the bullets ricochets off the trash can and hits James Gordon in the arm. The dog scuttles away, unharmed. I'm hit! James rolls around on the ground, bleeding. I got you, sir. Batman kneels by the Commissioner's side, tearing a strip of his cape off and using it to wrap the bleeding wound. The dog shot me. I think it was a ricochet. It's revenge for killing Gidget. That was the name of the Taco Bell Chihuahua. Gidget. That's old history, sir. No dog alive today remembers it. If this is it, Batman, if this is the end... You'll be fine, Commissioner. I just need to get you to a hospital. If this is my last moment on this godforsaken planet, I need you to know. I need someone to know. It didn't hit an artery. You're going to make it. I did it on purpose. Did what, Commissioner? I killed Gidget on purpose. It was murder, Batman. You don't know what you're saying, Commissioner. I know damn well what I'm saying. I've killed other dogs too. Ones you'd recognize. Famous dogs. Dogs beloved by nations. You've lost a lot of blood. Don't let me die in this alley, Batman. I won't, Commissioner. Don't let me die like Gidget. No one's dying on my watch. A door opens from a building next to Batman and James, and a woman walking a small dog comes out. James, in a sudden burst of energy, wiggles around trying to reach for his gun. Commissioner, it's a civilian! Stand down! Stand down! I'm gonna take a little pause. Man, containing all my laughter is a bit difficult, but it's happening. Okay. I suppose I can respond with text sometimes. This thing is, by the way, 81 pages long. I'm on page 12. Let me get some water again. Gotham General Hospital, later. The hospital room is spacious and well furnished. It's the sort of room only ever given to truly VIP hospital patients. James Gordon, his arm wrapped in gauze, lies awake in his hospital bed hooked up to an IV and various monitoring devices. Batman sits in a large wooden chair next to him. Thanks for sticking with me, Batman. Of course, Commissioner. Batman puts a comforting hand on the Commissioner's uninjured arm. You're a good man. A good friend. James pats Batman's hand and then coughs a few times. I gotta quit smoking. It's just such a stressful line of work. It is. I'm on edge 24 hours a day. That's a tough job, keeping Gotham safe. I'll get a medal for this, you know. Can you believe it? A medal for getting shot by a dog? Batman remains silent. I'll accept it, of course. Great PR. Gotta take those wins where you can get them. Sir, about... That wasn't true, what I said about... hold on. What? I smacked something. Where was I? I lost my track. That wasn't true what I said about the Taco Bell dog. I was just out of my mind. You know that, right? Of course. James looks at Batman for a while, then nods. You're a good guy. A solid guy. Earlier, before you were shot, you were going to tell me to find those Arkham files? Oh yeah, grab my phone. Batman grabs James Gordon's phone from a table next to the bed. He holds it out to James, but James gives a no nod with his head and waves his hand dismissively. Unlock it. There's no passcode. Batman unlocks the phone. Where can I access the files? They're all in my email. In your email? I don't know how to use the official database or whatever, so I have my assistant email me everything. Your assistant emails you every file. If it's not an email, I don't know how to use it. Isn't there a security risk doing things this way? Nah, I've always got my phone with me. Batman looks uncertain but doesn't want to press it. He types something into the phone and scrolls through a number of results before finding what he's looking for. Got it. Thank you, Commissioner. Don't mention it. And Batman? Yes? What happened tonight? It's between friends, right? Of course. If you see a story on the news with different details or whatever, it's just PR. Helps the police do their job. I think I understand. Good, good. Oh, and if you run into the nurse on your way out, tell her I want more Percocet. They keep giving me rookie stuff, but I want Percocet. I don't know what that is.
A kind of drug, I think.
Okay.
Percocets.
Streets of Gotham, as late as it gets. In spite of the extremely late hour, the streets of Gotham continue to buzz with activity. A taxi driver dressed in jeans, t-shirt, and a zip-up sweater, Gary, pulls up to the curb to let a passenger in. That passenger is Batman. Take me downtown. You got it. Gary puts the car into drive and re-enters traffic. As he drives, he occasionally looks into the rearview mirror, back at Batman. Batman watches him, unblinking. All right, you found me. Big deal. Batman's voice goes lower than it has ever gone before. Joker. It's Gary while I'm on the clock. Taxi regulation stuff. Batman's voice maintains its extra low pitch. Gary. So, are you gonna beat me up again? Have I not suffered enough? That depends on if you've done any recent crimes. The law is just a tool capital uses to maintain its power. What's legal isn't what's moral, Batman. I'm not here for your commie propaganda, Gary. I'm an anarchist. What's the difference? Do you really want to know? No. The Joker sighs. Where do you get your money, Batman? That's none of your business. I've seen some of the tech you use. That stuff ain't cheap. So what? I've got a theory. Of course you do. I think you get it from that Bruce Wayne guy. Nice theory, but you're wrong. I think he does it as some sort of feel-good philanthropic project. Bruce Wayne wouldn't give me a red cent. Uh-huh. Then where's your money come from, Batman? My parents left me a legacy when they were murdered, which happened right in front of me. Damn. I watched them bleed out. Sorry, man. It happened outside the movie theater. They got stabbed. Do you know what movie we were there to see? I do not. A goofy movie. Oof. Good movie, but, oof. Yeah, oof. Are you happy? Of course not. That's rough. I don't want your sympathy, Gary. All right, well, what do you want? Why are you here in my cab? Batman looks out the window at the passing Gotham nightlife. I need your help for a project. Ha! Unbelievable! It's important. Do you know how many years of my life I've lost thanks to your authoritarian vigilante act? Batman turns away from the window and looks at the Joker again. It's important. Yeah, there's a lot of important stuff going around. I might be making moves against the United States government. The Joker is silent for a moment. This isn't a January 6th sort of thing, is it? I'm not an insurrectionist, Gary. You kinda give me that vibe. I respect the law, Gary. Alright then, what is this all about? What do you know about Yaoi? That's... Alright, you got my attention. President Joe Biden might be working to ban it. If he is, I'm going to stop him. Batman, I can't imagine Joe Biden even knows what Yaoi is. If my information is wrong, and Joe Biden has no such plans, the mission's done. But I can't rest until I find out. What's your interest in this exactly? Batman looks out the window again. I care about artistic freedom. I care about a person's right to self-determination. Alright, I won't press. And why do you want my help? You're the only person I know who hates the government enough to take the risks we're going to take. I swear if I end up on the news referred to as Proud Boy... This isn't a January 6th situation, Joker. I swear on my parents' grave. Fair enough. So, where do we begin? The Penguin's nightclub, later. The Joker parks his taxi across the street from Newt Newt, a nightclub run by the Penguin. The jet black building is adorned with purple neon lights and stylish penguin iconography. There's a long line to get in, and a bouncer by the door. What are we doing here? I don't think Penguin's going to be too sympathetic to our cause. There is a senator meeting with him tonight. It could be nothing, but Penguin is one of Joe Biden's biggest donors. So you think they're discussing the Yaoi ban? All I know is I want to hear what they're saying at that meeting. Alright. What do you want me to do? I want you to distract the bouncer. You don't want to just pay the cover fee? I don't bring my wallet on missions. The Joker thinks about this for a moment. Wait, how are you planning on paying your cab fare? If you don't pay me by the end of the night, I'm charging you interest. That's illegal. Uh-huh. I'm good for it. You'll get your money. How much is the cover anyway? It's $120. $120? Yeah. Alright. I was gonna offer to just pay, but screw that. $120, good grief. So, you'll distract the bouncer? Yeah, let me just put some of my clown makeup on. The Joker opens the glove box, removes the makeup kit, and starts applying his Joker face. Good, you'll be in disguise. I'm the one guy who does crimes dressed like a clown. I think it's the opposite of a disguise at this point. Hey, there's a wig back there. Can you grab it? Which one? There's more than one? Yeah, a green one and the blonde one. Oh damn, that's Jerry's. And he's got a show tomorrow. Hey, on the way back I gotta stop by Jerry's. Okay. Batman hands Joker the green wig. The Joker clumsily puts it on with one hand, his other hand still applying makeup to his face. I'm going to lurk in the shadows until your distraction is complete. Yeah, go lurk. I'll just be a minute. Batman gets out of the car and makes his way to a particularly shadowy spot on the left side of the building. The Joker finishes applying his makeup and then gets out of the cab and pops the trunk. He has a unicycle stashed in there. He removes the unicycle, then deftly hops on top of it and unicycles his way over to the bouncer. Honk honk and well met. I'm the one and only Royal Rube, the Imperial Buffoon, the Clown Prince himself, the Joker. The bouncer, suddenly finding himself face to face with a unicycle riding clown, seems bemused. Get out of here, bozo! Tell me, good friend, have you heard the joke about the coffin? What? So this guy is on his way to work. He drives a Lincoln town car. Can you believe it? He's 30 years old, works at a publishing company, and drives a Lincoln town car, of all things. Either get in line or get lost. He's stuck in morning traffic, which is worse than usual thanks to a lane closure, and the car ahead of him is a hearse. A hearse! What a great way to start the day, right? Batman sneaks out of the shadows and inches along the building's wall towards the door, while the bouncer concentrates on the Joker. All right, get to the punchline. As he is waiting in traffic, not moving an inch, he becomes aware of a thumping sound. Thump, 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 thump. That's right. Thump, thump. One of the line waiters is getting agitated. Hey, I want to get in. I want to party. Hold up, I want to hear where the thumping is. Believe it or not, the thumping is coming from the hearse. No way. Wait, is this a buried alive situation? Those always freak me out. The thumping is getting louder and louder, quicker and quicker until... Bang! The bouncer and some of the people in line jump a little at the Joker's loud exclamation. Batman pauses in his movement. The back door of the hearse swings open, and a dang coffin comes sliding out. I knew it! They're burying someone alive! The coffin is now right in front of our hero's Lincoln town car. Lincoln is a really hard word to say. In the flash, the coffin springs up into the air, and then with a deafening crunch, lands directly on the hood of the man's car. A jumping coffin! Damn! That's gotta do some damage! Batman continues his way towards the door. It certainly did some damage. Almost $2,000 to fix it. And I can't imagine insurance could cover that. Depends on the company and the adjuster. Batman made his way to the door and swiftly darts inside, unnoticed by the bouncer. What insurance company did this guy use anyway? Travelers. He might be alright. Newt Newt, moments later. Inside the Penguins Club, we hear loud drill music, and we see a number of people dancing amidst the flashing lights. Batman deftly moves between the dancers, making his way to the back of the building. Arriving at the far wall, Batman finds a locked door and quickly unlocks it using a bat-themed lockpick gun. In the back rooms of Newt Newt, the music becomes muffled as Batman closes the door behind him. The door has led him to a staircase, which he ascends to find a small hallway with a number of other doors, most of which are closed. One of the doors is slightly ajar, and a dim light pours out of it. Batman reaches the door and looks through the small gap. At the other side of the room, facing away from him, sits two figures. One of the figures is the Penguin, a short, greasy-looking man in his 50s, and the Senator, a tall and angular woman of around the same age. The Penguin is dressed in a floor-length smoking coat and has a glass filled with some sort of blue liquid in his right hand. The Senator is dressed in a black suit and is drinking whiskey. It sounds like quite a serious matter. There is going to be pushback, but it needs to be done. And this is my concern because... The Penguin takes a sip of his blue liquid. The Biden administration's already lost a lot of support. The border wall, for instance. Wasn't that his predecessors? Yes, but he's continued building it. Then there's the children in internment camps. Ah, yes, Biden continued that as well. He did. And the oil drilling and the military spending, not to mention the war crimes. The United States doesn't do war crimes. Of course. For something to be a crime, there needs to be an authority capable of prosecuting it. Aha! The Penguin gives a throaty, phlegm-filled laugh. See, this is why I like working with the government. Indeed. The Senator takes a sip of her whiskey. And you're worried this new thing might be some sort of tipping point? Exactly. To put it bluntly, Joe's going to need a lot of campaign money to give him a chance at re-election. More than usual. Our internal polling shows the old lesser of two evils argument isn't going to bear quite as much fruit this time. The Penguin raises his glass a little and swishes the blue liquid around. It sparkles. Newt, Newt! Well, money I can certainly provide, but I'm not one to give simply out of the goodness of my heart. You've been having legal trouble with that new district attorney, correct? Harvey Dent. He's not a man who can be reasoned with. The United States government is very good at dealing with unreasonable men. Are you offering what I think you're offering? Harvey Dent has an unfortunate accident. Joe Biden wins re-election, and the world keeps on spinning in the right direction. The Penguin gets up from his seat and begins pacing the room. Batman steps back a little so as not to be seen. My financial resources are extensive, but you're going to need more than just my help to win re-election. We've got other logs in the fire. Have you talked to Bruce Wayne? He might be sympathetic to the cause. Batman's head does a dog-like tilt, and a sour expression covers his face. The Senator takes another sip of her whiskey. We're not so sure about Mr. Wayne. It's been hard to get a yes or no from him or on anything. He doesn't like to commit himself fully if he doesn't have to, but he understands the ways of money and power. I wouldn't overlook him, Newt Newt. The Senator raises her whiskey glass. I'll take that under advisement. Batman moves away from the door and walks back down the dark hallway. The Penguin's nightclub, later. The Joker is still telling his joke to the bouncer. A number of would-be clubgoers are now standing around in rapt attention. The guy makes it back to his house and slams the front door behind him. He can't hear the thump-thump of the coffin following him up the driveway, so he pushes a sofa in front of the door to block it.
What about the windows?
The Joker points at the bouncer in acknowledgement. You're exactly right. He should have been thinking about the windows, because wouldn't you know it, the coffin comes crashing right through.
And now he can't even get back outside because the front door's blocked.
He's stuck, and the coffin's really hopping after him now. Thump, 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 thump. Batman leaves the club and slinks back into the shadows.
I don't think he's getting away this time. And after all that stuff with the hot air balloons...
How does a coffin even fly one of those? Nobody knows!
Nobody knows!
Well, the guy's running through his house, with the coffin tearing after him like a wild animal, knocking over vases and picture frames, just making a huge mess.
You hate to see it.
There's only one place left to go. The bathroom. The guy sprints inside and slams the door behind him, just as the coffin rams into it.
That door's not gonna hold.
It's not. Already it's splintering, and the coffin just keeps ramming. Thump, thump,
thump, thump.
The guy looks around the bathroom, trying to find anything that might help him escape the terrible power of the coffin. He opens the drawers, he opens the medicine cabinet, and all the while the door is just breaking apart. The bouncer makes the sign of the cross.
Jesus, Mary, and Joseph, save this man!
The door finally gives way, bits of wood shooting in every direction, just as the man reaches into the medicine cabinet and grabs a bottle of cough syrup, which stops the coffin. There's a momentary silence, and then a great chorus of moans and boos from the various onlookers. This night you have found yourselves victims of the great and terrible Joker! Good day to you! The Joker unicycles away. Alright. Interior, old-fashioned diner, very early morning. The sun has begun to rise in Gotham City. In a small diner on the outskirts of town, Batman and the Joker are having coffee and pancakes.
That's all I heard.
Batman carefully cuts a perfect triangle out of his 5 stack of pancakes. They could have been talking about anything.
They could have, but my gut tells me it was about Yaoi.
That thief you were talking about? The one who set you off on this mission to begin with?
What about her?
How would she even know about the secret inner workings of the Biden administration?
These sort of things have a way of getting out.
I don't think that they do.
Well, this one did. And we have a chance to stop it.
Are you going to warn Harvey Dent?
What?
About the threat to his life and safety?
Oh, I forgot about that. I'll send him a text.
Batman takes a big bite of his triangular pancake stack. Do you have your phone with you?
I'll do it when I get home.
It's with your wallet, huh? Batman begins cutting another triangle of pancakes. The Joker has barely touched his own stack.
What's with the attitude, Joker?
The Joker puts his fork down. When I look at you, I see so much wasted potential.
Well, when I look at you, I see a sad clown.
The Joker leans forward. With your resources and, frankly, absurd levels of dedication, you could accomplish so much.
I already do.
You've been at this vigilante thing, what, 10? 15 years?
14 and a half.
Things are getting worse. They're not getting better.
There's only so much criminals I can catch in a day.
Why do you think criminals exist?
Why does air exist?
You think criminals are some sort of naturally occurring phenomenon?
Yes.
You're a criminal yourself.
False.
Is vigilantism legal?
That doesn't count.
Why not?
Because I'm the good guy.
The Joker sighs. Do you know what the Federal Reserve does?
I gotta go. I'll see you tomorrow.
Batman stands up from the table. All right, baby steps. Batman takes a paper card out of one of the pouches on his belt and puts it on the table.
Call this number. They'll get you paid for the cab fare and the pancakes.
Great. Meet me at Garden Park tonight at midnight, near the fountains. Sure. What are you up to in the meantime? There's someone I gotta talk to. Short intermission. Oh lordy.
It stops the coughing.
Man.
You gotta stretch, you gotta sip.
I gotta stretch, I
It's a
gotta
lot
sip.
of reading.
And that's a lot of reading. We're on page 34.
You think you'll try and read the whole thing?
I could get through the whole thing, I think.
Okay,
Since this is like a screenplay, the pages aren't that long.
I suppose so.
It's about a minute a page, so I can get this done in an hour.
Yeah, just as long as your voice is fine with it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay, back to it. Wayne Manor. Day. In an elegant reading room filled with classical paintings, flowing drapery, and ornate furniture sits Bruce Wayne, billionaire. He is wearing dark slacks and a well-fitting dress shirt and blazer. Alfred walks a few steps into the room and then stops, facing Bruce. Master Bruce, your guest has arrived. Shall I show him in?
Please do.
Very good, sir. Alfred bows slightly and then leaves the room. A few moments later, Batman walks in.
Batman, it's been a while.
Bruce gets up from his chair to greet his guest, but Batman keeps an awkward distance.
It has. I was surprised to hear from you, given. How are your parents? Good, good. Dad's enjoying retirement. Mom's, well, it's always hard to know with Mom. How about you? Both still dead. I meant, how have you been? Busy. Ah.
Bruce walks over to a cabinet at the far end of the room, opening it to reveal a number of bottles and a mini fridge.
Drink?
Batman hesitates a moment before answering.
Do you still have those juices with the twist tops?
Bruce smiles, opens the fridge, and takes a red plastic bottle out. He throws it to Batman, who catches it with one hand.
Thanks.
Bruce, having poured himself a cognac, sits back down. Batman twists the cap off his drink and takes a swig.
Not that I mind seeing you. I'm glad you're here, but Joe Biden's going to ban Yaoi.
Bruce looks blankly at Batman.
I don't know what that is. It's a type of, Japanese art.
Bruce leans forward.
Pornographic?
Batman turns his head away.
Not exclusively, no. Ha!
Batman turns an angry look on Bruce.
Sorry, this, Yaoi, does it feature... It's young men.
Aha, so you're still...
I'm doing this to protect an art form that all sorts of people enjoy.
Bruce spreads out his hands in a placatory gesture, almost spilling his cognac.
Of course, I'm a great lover of art myself. And you want me to petition the president to stop it? Is that what you're here for? You know I don't go in for that political stuff. No, nothing like that. I just don't want you to lend your support to the ban, if asked. Consider it done. Or rather, not done. Not doing things is something I excel at.
Bruce raises his cognac in a cheers gesture.
Thank you.
Care to stick around? I've got some friends coming over for tennis later.
One more thing.
Shoot. Batman puts his juice down on the table and takes a camera out of one of his pouches.
Do you mind if I take a picture with you?
Bruce lets out a guffaw. What? Do you have an Instagram page or something now?
Can I follow you? I just want a picture. Sure, why the hell not? Bruce puts his cognac down and walks over to where Batman is awkwardly standing with his camera. Bruce puts his arm around Batman's shoulder and, with his other hand, makes the peace sign. Cheesecake! Batman snaps the photo. Got it. Bruce removes his arm from Batman's shoulder. Batman, really, don't be a stranger. It's hard not to be. Batman begins to walk off. Then he remembers his juice and comes back for it, taking the juice with him as he leaves. Batcave, later. Batman is at his huge central computer, and on one of the screens we see the photo he took with Bruce. Various points appear on Bruce's face, which quickly transform into a 3D mesh. A 3D version of Bruce's face is extracted from this mesh, and then a progress bar appears over it. When the progress bar is finished, a machine to the right of the computer begins buzzing. It's an advanced 3D printer, and it's printing a mask of Bruce's face. Nice slurping mirror. Perfect. Gotham Park, midnight. The Joker, sans makeup, wearing a colorful plaid pants, a black shirt, and a colorful plaid jacket, is waiting by a giant fountain in the center of the park. His hands are in his pockets as the night is chilly. A man looking exactly like Bruce Wayne in a well-fitting black suit casually walks up to the Joker. Hello, Joker. The Joker looks at Bruce with a sense of dim recollection. Are you Bruce Wayne? Good, it is you. Gross. What do you want with me? Bruce leans very closely to the Joker. Actually, it's me. It's Batman. I'm wearing a mask. The Joker looks closer at Bruce and his eyes get a little wider. Yowie zowie! What in the world have you been up to, Bats? We're going to the White House. Are we? I'm going to meet the president, disguised as Bruce Wayne. And the president's going to tell you about his big Yaoi plan? I find that people tend to tell me what I want to hear. I bet they do. Once we expose the truth, the court of public opinion will set things right. You got all this figured out, huh? A large hovercraft shaped like a bat descends from the sky. It's making a tremendous amount of noise. Let's go save Yaoi. Inside the hovercraft, later. Batman, still in disguise as Bruce Wayne, sits at the controls of the hovercraft. The Joker sits in the co-pilot seat next to him. How'd you get such a high-quality Bruce Wayne mask made? I took a 3D scan of his face. So you do know the guy? I technically live under his house. We have the same butler. Wait, I was right about the source of your money? No, I got my own wealth. He doesn't give me anything. You sound kinda bitter. I don't want his money, I just... Batman is silent for a moment. We grew up together. We got close after my parents died. We used to be best friends and then... Batman is finding it difficult to turn memories into words. I told him something. The most important thing I've ever told anyone. And he laughed at me. Ah. What's... Ah. You told him you loved him and he was a douche about it. Don't call him a douche. Am I right? Maybe. It all happens to all of us at some point. Does it? Remember, Calendar Man? Emily. I always fall for the smart, bald guys, but they don't often fall for me. Calendar Man. Calendar Man. I don't even remember his civilian name. Me neither. The worst part was, right after he shot me down, my Google Calendar dates got deleted. All of them. Terrible. They still don't work right to this very day. I scheduled something, the next day, it's gone. Calendar Man did that? I can't prove it, but the timing was suspicious. Does he have power over calendars? I think my passwords are just super easy to guess. The Joker sighs. He was so smart. And so bald. There is a pause in the conversation. The sun begins to rise over the horizon. Why the clown stuff? I like jokes. Clowns don't usually tell jokes. They do. It's just through a physical performance instead of words. But you tell word jokes. Sometimes things don't have a dramatic point of origin. Sometimes you just like telling jokes and dressing like a clown. And doing crimes. What I do shouldn't be a crime. You rob banks. I infiltrate banks. I don't rob them. What's the difference? I don't want money. I want money to disappear. There is another pause in the conversation. I think we're here. Washington, D.C.? The White House. We can't just land at the White House. We can, and we are. We're going to get shot down. This hover ship can't be targeted. Special tech. We'll be fine. What about after we land? That's where you come in. How could that possibly be where I come in? I need you to cause a distraction. Batman, we're talking about the Secret Service. I need you to distract them while I sneak into the White House. They're going to shoot me, Batman. I don't think they will. This plan sucks eggs. I disagree. The Joker throws his hands up in the air in frustration. Well, if we're going to do this, let me at least put my clown makeup on. The White House lawn, moments later. The Bat hovercraft lands gently on the White House lawn in front of a large fountain. Immediately there are 24 Secret Service agents rushing the craft, guns drawn. The door of the hovercraft opens up and the Joker, now wearing full makeup, stumbles out. Anyone heard the joke about the 2 horses? Various Secret Service agents tackle the Joker, who tumbles to the ground. One of them is named Sugar. The other, Spice. Batman, disguised as Bruce Wayne and looking like a Secret Service agent in his black suit, subtly blends himself into the group and then vanishes in the chaos. The Joker is roughly dragged away. The horses! They love to race! The White House hallway, moments later. The White House is in a frenzy as various Secret Service members quickly move from place to place. Assorted White House staff look around confused and worried. Batman confidently makes his way down the hallway and takes a right into a meeting room. Inside the meeting room, hold on, hurt you once inside. The room contains a long oval table and numerous chairs. The walls are full of small decorative recesses in which various statues stand. On one of the chairs sits President Joe Biden, as well as one of his advisors and a Secret Service member. Batman steps up to the table. Mr. President. By God, it's Bruce Wayne. Bruce, good to see you. Batman moves to shake Biden's hand. The Secret Service member darts forward to intercept, but Biden waves him away. None of that. This is Bruce Wayne. If you can't trust a billionaire, who can you trust? Joe Biden shakes Batman's hand and then gestures to a seat. Sit down, sit down. Sorry about the welcome. Everyone's riled up like a rooster in a fox's den about some clown on the front lawn. The advisor gets up, nods at Batman, and then leaves the room. Thank you, Mr. President. Please, I've told you, call me Joe. Of course, Joe. It's great you're here. I've been meaning to pick your brain about a couple of things. I'm all ears. Joe looks over at the Secret Service agent. Give us some privacy for a minute, will ya? Sir, there's been an incident outside. Then go outside for heaven's sake. Just give me and Bruce here some elbow room. Sir! The agent reluctantly leaves and shuts the door behind them. Joe Biden points to a briefcase in the center of the oval table. Hey, Bruce, can you slide me that puppy over there? Batman slides the briefcase over to Joe Biden. Joe undoes the latches and opens the case, revealing various wrapped bundles of human hair. After some deliberation, he takes out the brunette bundle and takes a huge whiff of it. He looks over at Batman. You want in on this? Not my particular vice. Not enough people appreciate hair. Wondrous stuff. Joe takes another whiff and then puts the hair back into the briefcase before closing it. How's the family? I think that's enough dilly-dallying. Let's cut to the chase, Batman. Bruce gave me a ring and said you might be up to some monkey business. Or, bad business as it may be. Damn it, Bruce. Batman takes the Bruce Wayne mask off, revealing his Batman cowl underneath. Now, he was just looking out for you. Worried you'd get yourself in a whole mess of hot water. So, you know why I'm here? You're here to keep all those pretty little cartoon boys away from the long arm of the government, right? Those aren't the words I could use to describe it, but, yes. Listen, buddy. You know I don't have a single crow to pick with that kind of thing. Barack and I made all that legal to begin with. So, it isn't true. You aren't going to ban Yaoi. I'm saying it's more complicated than you think. There are things about Yaoi you don't fully understand. Well then, educate me. Let's go on a little field trip. Joe stands up and walks over to one of the small statues sitting in a recessed area of the wall. The statue is a bust of President Taft. Biden pulls the statue's head back, revealing a button. As he presses the button, a large area of wall next to the recess opens to reveal a secret elevator. Inside the secret White House elevator, moments later, Joe Biden and Batman are riding the secret elevator downward. A soft mechanical hum can be heard. How far are we going? It's a ways. You'll see why. In a secret underground hallway, moments later, there is a ding from the elevator, and the doors open upon a strange white hallway. Adorning the walls of the hallway are various yaoi prints and paintings. There are pedestals displaying yaoi anime DVDs and various other yaoi artifacts. Batman cautiously steps out of the elevator and looks around, stunned. Joe Biden follows him. I don't understand. The United States government has been keeping an eye on the yaoi situation since the 70s. Although all of this, Joe waves around at everything, didn't come about until the great yaoi boom of the 90s. Why does the government care so much about yaoi? Batman walks from exhibit to exhibit, taking in all the yaoi. At first, it was a moral panic sort of thing, raising a ruckus over what Japanese art was gonna do to American children. And then Al Gore became fixated on yaoi like a dog with a bone, and set up a research center in the White House's fallout shelter. That's where we're at now. Bill had a tizzy fit when he found out, let me tell you. And where does your own interest lie? Me? I don't care chulix for the stuff. But as for U.S. interests, there was a Yaoi event that really shook things up in the early 2000s.
Batman turns sharply to Joe Biden.
Do you mean?
Joe looks confused for a second, then laughs.
No, I'm not about to tell you that Yaoi did 9/11. What I'm referring to happened a few months before 9/11, just to lay the government's response to it.
Let me reread that one.
What I'm referring to happened a few months before. 9/11 just delayed the government's response to it. So, what was the event?
By this point, Batman and Joe Biden have reached the end of the hallway. They are standing in front of a large electronic door. Joe punches in a code on the keypad, which beeps, and then the door begins to open.
See for yourself!
The electronic door lifts with a loud metallic straining sound, revealing a circular room with a large containment chamber in the center made out of some sort of transparent plastic. Batman steps inside this new room and walks up to the edge of the containment chamber. Inside the chamber, there are huddled together two young and beautiful cartoon men.
This is... I told you it was complicated. What am I looking at? Yaoi is real, Batman.
One of the Yaoi, the taller of the two, looks up, an expression of deep longing and sadness on his beautiful face. Batman puts one of his hands on the glass.
Is this a hologram projection? Some sort of hologram? They're as real as a pine tree in Kansas, and they can interact with the physical world.
The taller Yaoi gracefully stands up and then walks over to the inner edge of the enclosure. He puts his hand on the transparent plastic, lining his fingers up to Batman's.
Why do you keep them locked up? In spite of their appearance, they ain't human. These two have been here for 20 years and neither has aged a day. Both are still as handsome as young as a spring sunrise.
Batman turns to look at Joe Biden.
What crime have they committed?
Joe Biden smirks.
Come on now. You know how this works.
Do I?
These are true legal aliens. They don't have rights. They don't even have a country.
Everyone has rights.
With respect, I am the president and I say Yaoi do not have rights.
Everyone is equal under the law.
Buddy, you gotta understand.
Joe Biden leans close to Batman.
That just ain't true.
Batman slams his fist against the plastic enclosure, causing the tall Yaoi to scuttle away. Joe Biden leans back away from Batman, seemingly undisturbed by the outburst.
How many more are there? You gotta calm down, bub.
Answer the question.
Dozens. 100 maybe. Nobody really knows.
How has this remained so quiet?
We've been very good at recovery and containment so far. But listen, Batman.
Joe Biden puts his hand on Batman's shoulder.
This has become a crisis faster than a squirrel can run up a tree. And not the good kind of crisis we can find an angle on to strengthen the economy. This is something that threatens the very system itself.
Batman looks Joe Biden dead in the eyes.
If the system can't survive Yaoi, maybe it doesn't deserve to survive.
Joe Biden takes his hand off of Batman's shoulder.
I'm sorry to hear you say that. I was really hoping we could hitch our wagons together on this.
Taser darts suddenly fly into Batman, shot from a Secret Service agent appearing from a previously unseen panel in the wall. Batman howls with rage and falls to his knees. Utilizing an almost supernatural strength, Batman fights the tasering and begins to stand up again. Joe Biden looks panicked for a moment.
Come on, get him! Get him!
A second set of taser darts hits Batman from another Secret Service agent. Batman falls onto his hands and knees. Still, he inches forward, a look of utter rage on his face, towards Joe Biden.
What in the Sam Hill has Bruce been feeding this guy?
A third and fourth set of taser darts hits Batman, causing him to fully collapse onto the floor. Both the tall and short Yaoi are now kneeling at the edge of the enclosure, their hands pressed against the glass, looking at Batman with tears in their big, beautiful eyes. It is the last thing Batman sees before he blacks out. Short break. Ooh.
Yaoi is real.
Yaoi is real. The Yaoi is real.
Big stretch.
Big old stretch and drink.
The Biden voice.
That's what he
I
sounds
hope
like.
the Joker. Oh yeah.
That's what he sounds like, the Biden.
Oh yeah. So like. I hope the Joker gets to finish his horse joke.
I hope so. Hmm. Okay. Let me just finish my coffee real fast and.
Oh yeah.
Oh, this music works pretty well, honestly.
Yeah, this is neat.
Okay. I will continue. Batman awakes to find himself in a large secret prison. The walls are made of white stone, and there are numerous holding areas protected by steel bars. The Joker, looking rather worse for wear with rips in his clothes and a black eye, is in the same cell. On the other side of the room is another cell. There are a number of long-haired women. Batman sits up and looks over at the Joker, who is staring off into space.
Yaoi is real.
What?
It's real.
Like the band?
No, I mean, that too, but I saw 2 Yaois.
What does that even mean?
Yaoi is real.
Yeah, I got a couple of owie yowies myself. Yeah. The Joker points at his black eye. Batman lies back down.
This is so much bigger than I initially thought.
Well, our part in the business is decidedly done. I don't think we're in the sort of prison they let you out of.
What do you mean?
You see those women? The Joker points at the women in the cell across the room. Batman sits up again to look at them.
Yeah?
Apparently they've been here for years. Their hair grows like crazy. Some experimental growth accelerant. Twice a week someone shaves their heads and takes the hair away for who knows what.
It's for Biden. He snips it. I've seen him do it.
Damn, yeah. We're never getting out of here. They sit in silence for a moment.
Tell me what the difference is.
The difference?
Between communism and anarchy.
What? Now?
We got time.
That depends a lot on what kind of communism you're talking about and what kind of anarchy. Batman groans and slides himself back against the wall.
What do you mean, Joker? What do you want? Let's say you're right about the government, about the whole system. What's the alternative?
The abandonment of hierarchy. Liberty through social equality. The removal of large concentrations of power.
How do you even do that?
Massive social revolution.
And you're going to achieve that by telling long and funny jokes and robbing banks?
Infiltrating. Look, I don't think any of this is going to happen in my lifetime. It might never happen, but nothing changes without people trying to change it. Sometimes all you can do is a rolling stone and then hope you're actually the start of an avalanche. A faint pitter-patter sound can be heard coming from the ceiling of the prison.
What is that?
The sound gets louder. I'm not sure. Rats? There is a much louder scratching sound, and the bits of ceiling begin to fall to the floor.
Not rats. Cats.
A huge chunk of ceiling above the empty space between the cells breaks away, and about a dozen of mechanized cats pour through, followed by Catwoman, a woman in a full-body black furry cat suit. She has a large duffel bag with her. What in the world? Batman gets up and stumbles over to the cell bars. Catwoman. Oh my god! It is! The Joker also makes his way over to the cell bars. I haven't seen you in ages. I didn't even know you were still alive. One sec. Catwoman rifles through her duffel bag and takes out 2 sets of sharp-looking metal teeth. She fits each set into a different mechanized cat and then sends them off to start chewing on the barge which imprisoned the long-haired woman. Still alive, just depressed, and off the grid. And also, I hate your jokes. They're generally not crowd pleasers now. What are you doing here? Are you going to snitch me to the cops? I'm locked in a blackside prison. Oh, alright. There are Yaoi trapped here. I'm trying to set them free. Wait, Yaoi is real? Yaoi is real and they need help, which is why I started Nyan, the new Yaoi Assistance Network. What happened to the old one? My girlfriend dumped me. Batman shakes the bars. I want to join Nyan. Catwoman walks up to the bars. Right now, I'm the only member, and I don't know if I want Batman to be the second. Please, I want to help the Yaoi. The mechanized cats finish their chewing, and the long-haired women step out of their cells. The 2 cats walk back to Catwoman and stand on either side of her. You're more of a law and order guy. Are you sure you've got the stomach for truly radical action? These last few days, my world has been turned upside down. Whatever it's going to take to save Yaoi, I'm in. Well then, welcome to Nyan. The 2 mechanized cats begin eating away at the bars. Batman, Catwoman, the Joker, the woman with the fast-growing hair, and various mechanized cats are regrouping in the big tunnel. I've been searching for weeks, but I've never found any Yaoi. Now I know why. How far down are we here? Around 40 feet or so. If I had to guess, the 2 Yaoi I saw are 400 meters lower. Catwoman makes a hissing sound. There's no way to get that far down without taking the direct route. The Joker could cause a distraction. The Joker throws his hands in the air. I have other skills. Batman looks at him critically. Like what? Political theory? Do you think political theory will help us break into the bunker? Sometimes implications can be far-reaching. Catwoman gestures towards a long-haired woman. We need to get them out of here and come back when we have a better plan and the right tools for the job. As the person here with the most experience getting arrested, let me remind you all that there's going to be a lot of heat on us. We know about the Yaoi and Biden's hair thing. The government's not going to want any of that getting out. Well, we'll be safe for a few days at least. I've got a place. It's where I've been hiding Yaoi. Batman turns to Catwoman, a look of yearning on his face. You've found other Yaoi? In Catwoman's Yaoi Sanctuary, Day. Catwoman's Yaoi Sanctuary is Glen Echo Park, an abandoned theme park about 8 miles outside of Washington, D.C. Batman, Catwoman, and the Joker walk through the Art Deco entrance, which is made up of 2 red and yellow spires with the words Glen Echo Park suspended between them. Through this entrance is a world of abandoned rides, buildings, and candy stands. And Yaoi. Beautiful, young cartoon men can be seen in every direction, frolicking, laughing, dancing, and in some instances having extremely explicit sex. At the center of the park sits a beautiful carousel from 1921, still in operation, on which a number of Yaoi are cheerfully riding. Some of these Yaoi are also having sex. Batman looks around in wonder.
This is...
Beautiful, right?
It is.
Sometimes seeing them is the only thing that gets me through the day. The Joker stares at a small orgy of voracious, limb-tangled yaoi. Then he shakes his gaze away and takes in the rest of the park.
This place is abandoned? It looks pretty well maintained.
Yeah, but at the moment, I'm the one who maintains it.
Does no one else ever stumble onto all this?
They do. But there's something about the yaoi. Something about their beauty. Most people just don't want to ruin it.
Batman has slow tears running down his face. Thank you for bringing me here.
There's a building I've been squatting in at the end of the path. Follow me.
Moments later,
Catwoman leads Batman and the Joker into a building that was once a candy shop, but which now functions as Catwoman's home and robotics assembly area. Trays that once held gummy drops now hold gears and screws, and every corner of the room is home to some hacked-together piece of machinery. Catwoman sets her duffel bag down on the floor. It crunches on top of various mechanical bits and pieces, which litter the ground. You might need to sleep outside. I forgot how much junk I've got in here.
You've gotten really into robotics, huh?
Yeah, my cat died.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So, I've been making lots of robot cats and saving yaoi.
Uh-huh. Makes sense to me.
If you get hungry, I get...
Catwoman knocks a few stray items off the lid of a small chest freezer, then opens it. It's full of frozen burritos.
Frozen bean burritos. Because that's what was on the delivery truck I broke into.
She takes out 3 burritos and leaves them on top of the freezer.
You'll need to let them sit for a while. I don't have a microwave.
I've got a joke about a burrito.
I will peel off your face.
I'm not...
If you tell me your burrito joke.
Okay.
I gotta go for a bit.
Catwoman walks around the room, stuffing a few items into her duffel bag. Do you need any help?
Batman can come. The Joker cannot.
Catwoman leaves the building, duffel bag in hand. Batman follows her, and the Joker shrugs and grabs a burrito from the top of the freezer. Shrine to Nyanya. Later. In a small, grassy clearing, under the shade of a large American sycamore tree, there is a shrine to Nyanya, a black Bombay cat. A laminated picture of Nyanya sits in a weather-worn frame tacked to the tree, and below it there is a covered wooden tray filled with knickknacks and cat toys. To the sides of the tray are small vases filled with long extinguished incense. Catwoman sits herself down in front of the picture of Nyanya and takes fresh incense from her duffel bag. She lights them and then sets them unevenly in the vases. Most of them get placed in the left vase, one of them in the right. Batman stands to the side, observing the ritual with solemn respect. Catwoman opens the wooden tray and takes out a ribbon, a small fuzzy ball, and a grody felt pepper. Then places all 3 objects on top of the tray. She sits in silence for a minute. This is Nyanya. She died a year ago today. Batman remains silent. She was the last of my cats, from the day I became Catwoman. The last who was there for me during my journey. A gentle breeze picks up, catching in the sycamore's leaves. She loved to catch huge, terrible bugs and bring them to me. She loved to ride around my shoulder. She loved to hiss and scratch at anyone I brought to my apartment. She loved to sleep inside my catsuit when I wasn't wearing it. Catwoman is silent for a moment. She was always waiting at the window when I came back from a night's prowl, her eyes shining bright, even in the darkness. Her gaze let me know I was home. Catwoman takes the one lit incense from the right vase and moves it to the left. She was my best friend, and I will never see those eyes again.
There is a long silence. Smoke from the incense gently journeys away from the breeze. Thank you, thank you for letting me come. You understand the abyss that is death, if nothing else. Batman looks into the faded eyes of Nyanya, and Nyanya seems to look back. One of the Yaoi, a small young man named Ren with short red hair and sparkling yellow eyes, walks across the grassy clearing and approaches Batman. He does so carefully, like one approaches a startled animal. Batman doesn't resist as the Yaoi gently takes his hand and leads him away. I will take a break. I'm scared about where he's being taken away.
I'm scared. I fear.
I fear. But I need to be taken away to the toilet real fast, so I'll be right back.
Okay.
I have come back from the break.
Welcome back.
I will continue reading the Batman, the Yaoi Knight by Jason Steele. We left off with Batman being led away by Yaoi. Okay. Batman is led to a resting area on the edge of the park, which is covered in red, purple, and yellow tulips. They sit together in the grass and the flowers. I'm Ren. I'm Batman. What brings you to Glen Echo Park? Batman looks at Ren for a moment. I suppose you're what brings me here. Ren blushes. Batman blushes as well and turns away. Well, whatever brought you here, I'm glad you came. What is it that you want? I don't understand. You and the other... Batman gestures to the other Yaoi. What is it you all want? Just to love. To find love and to give it. Is there anything else? Batman sighs long and hard. Maybe there isn't. Ren reaches out and squeezes Batman's hand. Batman squeezes back. How did you get here? Where did you come from? We've been here for as long as there's been love. It just takes a while for people to see us. It takes a while for us to wake up. Batman thinks hard about what he's been told. Are there many more of you? Oh yes. There are as many of us as there are flowers, or rain clouds, or summer breezes. I wish I had known sooner. Ren smiles at Batman. You know now, and that's all that matters. Batman looks solemnly off into the distance. I think I know what I need to do. Alfred, sitting in an old but elegant armchair, is reading Yaoi by candlelight in his room. It is storming outside. A flash of lightning briefly illuminates the rest of the room, revealing Batman lurking behind Alfred. Alfred, without looking up from his Yaoi, addresses Batman. Is there something you need, sir? Yaoi is real, Alfred. Alfred puts his manga down on a little wooden side table. Of course it's real. No, I mean... Batman steps out of the shadows and into the candlelight. There are Yaoi walking the earth. We're on the same page, sir. You can see them? I've been seeing Yaoi since 1982. I see them in the garden. I see them in the market. I see them at church. Once Yaoi finds its way into your heart, you realize they've been there all along. The Yaoi are in trouble, Alfred. What is it that can be done, and how can I help? I know this is asking a lot, but I need your Yaoi collection. Alfred looks around at the collection he has spent the last 50 years gathering. Yaoi has added so much to the texture of my life. If all I need to sacrifice in order to repay that kindness is my manga collection, I will consider that a tremendous bargain.
Thank you, Alfred.
Think nothing of it. Now let's get packing. Wayne Enterprises, night. Bruce Wayne, wearing a dark suit with the tie unloosened, sits at his desk in front of a large window overlooking Gotham City. He is reading financial reports on a tablet. Bruce hears a small thud at the other end of his office and gets up from his desk to investigate, setting the tablet down as he does so. Near the far wall of his office, he stops, noticing something strange on the floor. He stoops down to pick the object up. It's an empty squeeze-top juice bottle. Bruce Wayne's eyes have a quick flash of understanding before Batman appears from overhead, swooping down and tackling him to the ground before he can react. Wayne Enterprises server room. Later. Various computers beep and boop in a large server room in one of the basement levels of Wayne Enterprises. Bruce Wayne is tied up on a chair pressed against the far wall. Catwoman is at a computer terminal typing ferociously, while Batman and the Joker scan various yaoi into an industrial scanner, digitizing the pages.
I know you've had your share of problems, but I'd never thought I'd see the day you become a villain.
That's Bruce talking, hold on. Whatever.
I'm doing what's right. That doesn't make me a villain.
You don't get to decide what's right. The government decides that.
Joe Biden was keeping kidnapped women in the White House dungeon so he could sniff their hair.
Yeah. Really? He absolutely was. And that wasn't even the worst thing he's done. Well, nevertheless. Batman steps away from the scanner and towards Bruce.
Why'd you warn Biden? Even after everything, I thought we were still friends.
I was worried you were getting in over your head.
You almost got me killed, and now I'm almost certainly on the CIA hit list because I know about Biden's hair thing.
I didn't know it would turn out this way. I'm not a politics guy.
You're Bruce Wayne. You're a politics guy whether you like it or not.
What are you even doing here? Why is a furry and a clown messing with the Wayne Enterprise servers? Batman grabs one of the yaoi manga and thrusts it in front of Bruce's face.
This is why we're here.
You're here for pornography?
It's yaoi, and it's art.
And what are you... Bruce goes still for a moment, and then his eyes widen, focusing on something behind Batman. He jumps back in his seat and tries to get out of his bonds, to no avail. Batman looks behind him, in the direction of Bruce's gaze. An impossibly tall and beautiful young cartoon man is leaning against one of the servers, his long silver hair blowing in the non-existent wind. Batman, with a look of interest and the beginnings of a smile on his face, turns back to Bruce.
You can see the yaoi.
What? I don't see anything.
You can see the beautiful silver-haired man over there.
Bruce's head snaps to Batman's.
It's...
Yaoi is real?
Yaoi is real. And we're going to help people around the world to see that.
Bruce looks at the Joker, who is still scanning the pages of yaoi, and then at Catwoman, typing away at a computer terminal. You're using the Wayne Communications Network to send yaoi out to every computer in the world.
We are.
Bruce looks over at the tall, beautiful yaoi, then at Catwoman. Miss Catwoman? Catwoman's head doesn't leave the computer screen. What's up, Brucey? Would it help if you had my administrator password? Catwoman looks over at Bruce. That would speed things up, yeah. Bruce's eyes dart to Batman for a second, and then away again. It's, Batman 69420. Catwoman gives a small, irritated sigh. Thanks. Batman looks at Bruce, whose face is still turned away. I'm still a bit of a schoolboy. What can I say? I have a similar password on the Bat computer. Bruce smiles a mournful smile. Then his smile turns into a sudden frown. Aw, damn! I set off a silent alarm with my watch. There will be guards on their way. They know it's a hostage situation and they won't accept a stand-down order. Batman turns to the Joker. Joker! The Joker gives a big grunt and puts down the yaoi he was scanning. Distraction. Got it? Wait! The Joker halts mid-stride. Let's do this one together. In the Wayne Enterprises lobby, minutes later. The lobby of Wayne Enterprises is a vast expanse of elaborately designed wood, marble, and glass. A masterpiece of Art Nouveau design. 30 or so guards are gathered, getting ready to deploy. The lights in the lobby suddenly go dark, just as the lobby speakers crackle to life. The voice of the Joker can be heard booming from the speakers. So a man goes to a magic show. The guards raise their guns and look in a panic around the dark room. The magician is one of the most renowned performers in his field. A true genius at sleight of hand. The Joker! A batarang flies from out of the shadows and knocks one of the guards' guns to the ground. The show starts, and the man is spellbound. The Joker more than lives up to his reputation. The guard who lost his gun is yanked by a grapple gun back into the darkness. Halfway through the act, the Joker calls for a volunteer from the audience. The man, truly in the spirit of the night, volunteers, and he brought up on stage. The two guards nearest the one who had been yanked begin following the lost guard into the shadows. There are brief sounds of a struggle, and then the thwomp-thwomp of two bodies hitting the floor. The Joker asks the man for a personal object, his wristwatch, which he promises to return. The watch is an old family heirloom, but the man, trusting the Joker and the spirit of the performance, hands it over. A grapple flies down from the ceiling and wraps itself around the guard who is holding a shotgun. The guard is yanked up into the air, firing his gun once before dropping it. Smash! The Joker hits the man's watch with a wooden huge mallet, shattering it into smithereens. 3 guards lose their guns, one by one, to batarangs. The man is filled with rage and just about to strangle the Joker when that trickiest of magicians points to the man's pocket. A guard fires randomly into the air in a panic. A batarang hits him square in the face, knocking him to the ground. The man reaches into his pocket and discovers something quite unexpected. Can you guess what is inside his pocket? Can you guess what the man finds? He finds his watch, good as new. The audience erupts with applause. One of the guards is attempting to radio for backup. Then Batman himself appears from the darkness and punches him unconscious. As the show continues, the man keeps looking down at his watch. A cold realization hits him. It's not the same watch. The scratches, the fading, all signs of wear are gone. Batman ducks under the baton of an attacking guard and then punches the guard in the side, just as another guard runs up with a shotgun. The man, furious at having a treasured family heirloom destroyed for the sake of a magic act, decides to confront the Joker backstage after the show. Batman rushes the man with the shotgun, forcing the gun upward so that when it fires its blast, it's nothing. Then, Batman headbutts the guard while yanking the gun away, tossing the weapon across the room. The Joker, hearing the man's grievances, apologizes for the deception and promises to compensate him for the loss of such a precious family keepsake. 2 more guards attack Batman at once, getting 1 hit in each one before Batman grabs the arm of one and swings him into the other, sending both guards toppling to the ground. The man, placated by the Joker's charming manner, agrees to stay for some coffee and cake in the Joker's dressing room. There aren't many guards left. One of the remaining guards approaches Batman carefully but steadily, obviously looking for an opening. The man sips at his coffee and chooses a delightfully looking sweet roll from the tray of baked goods the Joker offers. The guard lunges at Batman, but Batman is too quick, deftly maneuvering around the strike and elbowing the guard in the back of the head. The guard stumbles for a second before Batman kicks him to the ground. Taking a bite of the sweet roll, the man discovers something quite unexpected. Can you guess what is inside the roll? Can you guess what the man finds? The two remaining guards attempt to attack Batman with a pincer movement, but Batman tosses two batarangs from either hand and hits both guards in the face, knocking them both out. All the guards are now down. Strawberry jam! In the server room, minutes later, the computer Catwoman is working on gives a happy little beep just as Batman and the Joker re-enter the room. We're ready for transmission.
Do it. Send out the Yaoi.
The computer beeps again. It's done. The world is being Yaoi'd. All of the computer screens in the room fill with Yaoi. Batman turns to leave. Where are you going?
I'm going to have a chat with the president.
In the White House Oval Office at night. The Oval Office is dimly lit, and the night sky is clearly visible through the windows behind the Resolute desk. A sleepy Joe Biden wearing a cashmere nightrobe walks over to the Resolute desk and leans against it. In front of him is one of his advisors and the Secret Service agent.
All right, what's the hullabaloo?
This is Mr. President. The advisor hands a tablet to Joe Biden. On the tablet, there are scrolling panels of Yaoi manga.
This is just Yaoi.
It's everywhere, sir.
What do you mean, everywhere?
Check your phone. Joe Biden digs his cell phone out of his robe's pocket.
Well, I'll be jiggered. Is that even possible?
At the moment, we don't know how they're transmitting it.
No, I mean this.
Joe turns his phone to the advisor. There is an explicit Yaoi panel on it.
I didn't know you could fit so much back there.
The power in the Oval Office goes out. The Secret Service agent immediately moves to Biden's side.
Don't move, sir. There's been a power outage. Thanks for the update, pal. Why haven't the generators gone on?
I don't know, sir. The agent stops mid-sentence, a look of confusion on his face.
What is it?
Yaoi, sir. I've just been told there's Yaoi in the building.
How many?
I don't know. Possibly a lot. The power comes back on. There are now at least a dozen Yaoi in the room. Some of them are staring at Joe Biden. Some of them are making out. One of them is posing sensually on a sofa. One of them is on a horse, bareback.
By God, they're in the room!
We need you to get you to a secure location. The Secret Service agent begins shuffling Joe Biden towards the door. The advisor has moved to the window behind the Resolute desk and is looking out onto the White House lawn.
They're everywhere! What?
Joe wrestles free of the agent and walks towards the window. Sure enough, there are Yaoi all over the lawn, dancing in the moonlight.
Remind me, did you say Yaoi had been sent to every phone?
Every phone, tablet, television, and computer screen. Joe's eyes dart from Yaoi to Yaoi.
People are waking up. People are waking up to Yaoi, and the Yaoi waking up with them.
Two Yaoi slam against the window of the Oval Office. They are half naked and kissing, seemingly unaware of Joe Biden or his advisor. Joe backs away from the window and bumps into the Resolute desk. One of the drawers opens and the Yaoi stretches out of it, laughing as if he were running through a field of flowers on a warm spring day. Joe recoils and stumbles back. Another Yaoi peels away from the wall like a painting come to life, then lights a cigarette and leans back against the same wall, blowing smoke rings against the president. Yet another Yaoi, shirtless and lithe, stretches down from the ceiling with a rose in his mouth. He walks towards the president. The Secret Service agent fires at the Yaoi, but the bullets simply bounce off. The Yaoi takes the rose from his mouth, breaks off the stem, and then places the rose in Joe Biden's hair. The Yaoi on the horse rides by and lifts up the rose-giving Yaoi. The rose-giving Yaoi sits himself on the horse behind the first rider, wrapping his arms around him. There is a thwomp sound, and Joe Biden looks over to see that the Secret Service agent has been knocked out, and the Batman is standing over the body.
Batman!
Batman looks at Joe Biden's advisor.
Get out!
The advisor nods in understanding and runs out of the room. The two Yaoi on the horse give chase.
You realize you've gone and opened up Pandora's box? In the original myth, Zeus made 2 jars. One was filled with trouble and evil, the other with blessings and gifts.
Batman steps towards Joe Biden. A few of the Yaoi place their hands on his arms and shoulders, hanging upon and gathering around him like a harem.
It'll take time to discover which jar I have opened.
Batman, now within arm's reach of Biden, plucks the flower out of the old man's hair and sniffs it. He hands it to an appreciative Yaoi on his left.
I never took you for a traitor, Batman. And who is it I betrayed? The government, your president, the human race! That's where you've gone wrong, Joe. Yaoi is just as much a part of the human experience as you.
Batman raises one hand up to his bat cowl and slowly peels it off. Long, luxurious black hair comes out, flowing from a beautiful and sensitive cartoon face.
And me.
Joe Biden steps back in shock and alarm, violently hitting the Resolute desk behind him.
No! No!
The Yaoi hanging off of the Batman begin to merge into him.
Goodbye, Joe.
All of the Yaoi in the room melt into Batman, who grows bigger and bigger. Furniture scrapes across the floor as it's pushed away by the growing Yaoi Batman, and Biden falls back onto the Resolute desk just as the desk tips over. The White House breaks apart as Batman, now a huge, beautiful Yaoi, emerges from its center. The walls completely crumble away, and debris and rubble fall from Batman's body. Various Secret Service agents attempt to shoot at Batman, but they are gently dragged to the ground by smaller Yaoi. Batman continues growing until he absolutely towers over the spot where the White House once stood. As the moon shines down on his beautiful face, Batman stoops down and plummets his muscular arm into the ground. A few moments later he pulls it back up, and in his hand are the two imprisoned Yaoi, now free. Batman holds the Yaoi up to the moonlight. The two young men kiss in the moon's silver glow, their silhouette evoking the bat symbol. 2 months later, outside the Wayne Manor in the gardens at night. It has been 2 months since the mass Yaoi awakening. The elaborate and well-tended gardens of Wayne Manor are still and quiet in the cold night air. A lone figure walks amongst the flowers and plants. It is Bruce Wayne, who strolls and the grounds every night like a lonely ghost. Bruce kneels down next to a tulip, its yellow color barely visible in the light of the night. He touches it gently, then stands up and walks away. Bruce continues along a stepped path, his hands in his pockets, a look of well-accustomed isolation in his eyes. He stops when he notices a figure in the dark ahead of him, lurking in the shadows.
I wasn't sure I'd see you again.
Batman, his face still beautiful and yaoi, steps out of the shadows.
You can join us, you know. I know. I'm not ready.
There is a silence between them, but not an uncomfortable one.
Are you happy?
Batman looks up at the sky.
I feel more now than I ever did. Happiness, sorrow, hope. It's like I had been seeing life through a veil, and now that veil is lifted.
Bruce looks up at the sky as well, and then back at Batman.
I'm sorry for everything I did and didn't do. I don't know if that's worth anything, but I'm sorry.
There is another moment of silence between them.
Take care, Bruce.
Batman turns, his hair momentarily caught in a breeze that only hair can feel, and disappears into the shadows.
Take care, Batman.
Bruce continues his lonely walk in the moonlight. Streets of Gotham, day, post-credits sequence. The streets of Gotham bustle with life, human and yaoi alike. The Joker, dressed in his full clown getup and riding his unicycle, cycles past a few shop windows. One of the windows catches his attention and he stops, stumbling a little as he hops off his unicycle. He walks over to the window and peers inside. There is a television near the window displaying a news broadcast. An anchor woman is giving a report in front of a hospital. Gotham's ex-Attorney General Harvey Dent is being released from Gotham General today after a 2-month-long recovery following the horrific accident that left half his body and face covered in third-degree burns. In a statement to the Joker steps away from the window, sighing. He forgot to text Harvey. The end. The end.
Wonderful.
Wonderful. That was Batman the Yaoi Knight by Jason Steele, also known as Filmcow.
And if you don't know the name, you probably know his works, such as Charlie the Unicorn.
Yep.
And
Oh
goodness. There's a bunch of stuff. Oh, the Ghost House.
The Ghost House and other things. He's
Very
been
meta,
around
very,
on the internet
very,
for a long time.
Yeah.
He's been around for a very long time.
Those spatulas
Mm,
with the business spatulas.
the business spatulas, those ones. Yeah, let me. You kind of been wondering what you've been wondering about, Hattie. What is it that you've been wondering about?
What is it?
Oh, that's been throwing you off, yeah. Yeah, because you hear it because it's desktop audio, isn't it? Let me just stop the stream. It's the recording for now, and we can just chat the rest of the way. Anyway, we'll stop.
I forgot about